Hey everyone, Mr. Kaczynski here. We're getting pretty close to finishing up section double B of IXL's Algebra 1 skills. Today it's writing a quadratic function from its vertex and another point. So those are going to be the two things we're given, and then we're going to write an equation in what is called vertex form. So a quick review of vertex form. It looks like this: y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. HK is the location of the vertex. That's why it's called vertex form. Any equation is showing the relationship between two variables. X and y are variables, and they represent any point that is on our parabola. And then A is the vertical stretch or shrink factor of the parabola, which we've seen when we've been transforming quadratic equations through this lesson. So, and also an added note, if A is negative, that's because the parabola has been reflected over the x-axis. All right. So that's just a quick reminder. I only have 4 examples for you because they do get a little bit repetitive with regards to the steps, even though the math can be a little bit more difficult as we add negatives or fractions or whatever. All right, so here's what we're given. We're given a vertex of 0, 0 for this quadratic function. It has not been translated right or left or up or down. And we know it passes through the point negative 12, 12. Okay, well, the 0, 0 are our h and k values, and the negative 12, 12 are our x and y values. So we have h and k and x and y. The only thing we're missing is a, and we're going to solve for that. So here we go. So we'll do y, which is 12, equals a, which we don't know, times our x value, negative 12, minus our h value, which is 0, squared, plus our k value, which is also 0. All right, so y equals a times h, or x minus h squared plus k. That's our vertex form, and we were given hk, x, and y. All right, so now we'll solve this equation for a. All right, so 12 equals a times negative 12 squared. When we drop those zeros, just simplifying a little bit. And then a times 144, because negative 12 squared is 144. And then when you divide both sides by 144, 12 over 144 simplifies to 1/12. All right, so once we have that value, we can go ahead and write our equation, which is y equals 1/12 times x minus our h value, 0, squared, plus our k value, which is also 0. So, I mean, this actually, I checked, IXL will actually take that answer, but I would definitely simplify it just to 1/12 x squared. So that's our equation that relates x and y. Let's try it again. All right, so now we've got a parabola that has a vertex of 0, negative 2, and it passes through negative 8, negative 18. All right, so here we go. Our equation is going to be our y value equals a times x minus our h value. So x is negative 8. H is 0 squared plus our k value, which is negative 2, so minus 2. So this one's a little bit more going on here. Okay, first of all, let's just do negative 8 squared, which is positive 64. And then we'll add 2 to both sides. And then we'll divide both sides by 64. So negative 16 over 64, 16 is a fourth of 64, so negative 1/4. So then we can write our equation, y equals negative 1/4, that's our a value, times x minus our h value, which is 0, squared plus k, which our k value is negative 2. So again, this can be simplified a little bit. We'll make it into negative 1/4 x squared minus 2. And you can always check that on your graphing calculator by graphing it and making sure that it has the right vertex and that it actually goes through the point -8, -18. All right, here's another one, and I chose this one because it's got that ugly fraction there. It really doesn't change the process at all, though. Here we go. We're going to do our y value, which is 121/8 equals a times our x value, which is -9, minus the x value of our vertex, which is 4, all squared, and then our k value, which is -6. So we just have to solve this equation for a. Here we go. So I'll do some simplifying here. -9 minus 4 is -13, and -13 squared is 169. So did a couple things there. Then we have to add 6 to both sides. So if I add 6 over here, that'll create 0. Over here, I'll add 6 as well. But I'm going to look at it as 48/8. 48/8 is 6. And that'll make things, I'll have a common denominator then. So it's 169/8. That's 121/8 plus 48/8 is 169/8 equals a times 1/69. And then to get rid of that 169, I'm going to divide both sides by 169, but actually I'm going to look at it as, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, 1/169. Because that's a little bit easier when I go over here to do it. And you can just see that 169s, those cancel out as well, and just leave us with an a value of 1/8. So since our a value is 1/8, we can write our equation now. Y equals 1/8 times x minus 4 squared minus 6. So there's the equation that relates x and y. One more for you. Similar to the last, and we'll make this the last one here. So our y value, -51/4, equals a times x minus, actually not x. We're going to use the actual x value that was given to us, which is -17. Minus the x value of our vertex, which is -2, so I'm going to do +2 because it's minus -2, squared plus 6. Okay, so -17 plus 2 is -15, and -15 squared is 225. This time I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. But I got to get a common denominator, so I'm actually going to subtract 24/4 from both sides. That is 6. Okay, that'll give me -75/4 equals a times 225. And same thing as last time, I'll multiply by 1/225 to get that 225 to cancel out and be gone and just leave me with a. So over here I have to do the same thing. And I do notice that 75 divided by 75 is 1, and 225 divided by 75 is 3. So we end up with our a value here as -1/12. All right, so once we have that a value, we can write the equation y equals -1/12 times x plus 2 squared plus 6. So we're using the x and y value that they give us up here to figure out what a is, and then we don't need that point anymore, and we're just using the vertex and the a value that we found. All right, so that's how you write a quadratic function from its vertex and another point. Good luck, and let me know how it goes in the comments.